Hello, this is Ryan with the Linkasoarus training team, and in this video we're going to go over the brand dashboard analytics page. So from your dashboard, you're going to scroll over and click the icon here, the tab that says brand. And this tab is going to show you sort of a collection of all the important data that all of the locations within your same brand are achieving. And so let's look at how this page works. So the first section here has to do with brand review stats. These are going to be a conglomerate of all of the Facebook reviews and all of the Google My Business reviews that are within your brand. And so you're going to get, in this example, the average Google reply time. So in this example of all of the locations that are within the brand, based on the date range that's selected above, we have 17 days, 4 hours, and 3 minutes that all of the Google My Business reviews have been replied to. And then we have our average Facebook review reply time, which is 4 days, 5 hours, and 58 minutes. Over here to the right, we have organizational stats. So this is a convenient side-by-side picture that allows you to compare your company or using the filters above to the brand. And so in this example, this company averages 13 days, 23 hours, and 57 minutes when it comes to their Google review reply times, and then 5 days, 6 hours, and 52 minutes as far as their Facebook review times, reply times. You can also compare these exact same stats against historical data. So if you're wanting to compare against how your company and the overall brand was doing, for example, back a year ago in this example, you can select the previous year or any one of the years that you want to reference from a comparison standpoint, and then the information is going to populate. So here now you can see at the bottom we have Google review reply times, Facebook review reply times, and then 2021 in this example reply times, and 2021 reply times for Facebook. So Facebook, Google, Facebook, Google. And so this is just a way you can kind of scroll through and look side by side to see if you are replying to reviews faster than your peers within the brand, as well as against yourself, comparing different times against last year. Scrolling down, then you can break this out into organizational average reply times. Same thing. You can look at just your organization and compare it against the same time last year. So this allows you to kind of get a visual of how you're comparing against yourself and last year with regards to brand and time. So now we have brand social media top post. And so this is going to rank all of the social media content that was within your brand, and it's going to default to the first metric, which is going to be reach. And if you want to learn what these different topics are, you can always hover over these question marks to get your answers. And so here we have reach, and in this example, this particular social media post was viewed 106,000 times in relationship to the date range up here, which was the previous month. If you select all as your date range, what will happen is the social media content here, once it loads, is going to default to the last most recent 7 days. The reason the all feature when it comes to date ranges is because more than likely over time, you and your brand are going to be getting viewed by multi-millions. It could be tens of millions, hundreds of millions of views, and that amount of information is going to be just way too much to collect, and eventually it's just not going to be relevant. And so it's going to throw up this calendar selection tool that will be specific to just these post content. And so we can come down here. If by chance above you were selected all, you can have this special date range here. Otherwise, it's going to pull from the date selection you have at the top of the page. So in this example, we're just going to go to last month. It's going to default to sorting these by reach, so the total number of people that have actually seen this content. You have the option of including or excluding some other types of posts. So if you just want to exclude all of the brand posts, so your national brand and their content, and you want to exclude posts that were submitted to your pages or the brand by the national brand, you can definitely do that here. And then this will only leave your content posted to your locations, as well as content posted to all the other franchisees and their locations within your entire brand. So you can come up here, and these fields are only sortable in descending order because we're really just trying to pay attention to the top performing post. It's going to default to reach, but you can also switch this and go to action, which means these are posts that have been interacted with by people, whether it's a share, it's a like, it's a comment. That's how this field is sorted here. You could also go by engagement. When sorting this is going to also take into consideration how many people saw the content versus how many people engage with it. So there's some math going on here. Always be mindful if this number is really high, always go back and compare and see how many people actually saw that. So in this example, yes, there was 50% of the folks that saw it, engaged with it, but we only had 2 people see it. One of the 2 engaged with it, so that's how we have our 50%. Then it also gives you dates of the exact time this was posted. Another feature here is you can always come over here to action, and you can click on any one of these and instantly repost this, as you can normally do looking at content through the content calendar. If you scroll down here, you have the opportunity to hide the top 10 posts, and you can always compare against the same time, the same date selection here as in last year. So if you're comparing seasonality of content, you can always come down here and say what was happening at this exact same date selection previous year. You can come down here and compare those stats. Because in a lot of businesses using Linkasoarus, there tends to be some seasonality, and so you can always do that. All right, in the next section below here, we have our Google Review Analytics. And so this feature allows you to compare the overall brand trajectory and averages as far as the Google Review average star rating. And so here you have your current average rating, you have your date range average rating. So up above, if you have last month selected as your date range, this is going to give you the individual scores, the average for those individual days or by week or by month, depending on what your legend says down here. And then your overall trend is going to be your current average reply time or average review time, which is not going to move as much because that's a total average. Then you can come down here and see how your organization, or based on the selection you have up above, how your filters are set, you can compare how your organization is comparing it against all the other locations within your brand. And so in this example, we have here that this particular organization's current average star rating is 3.42. Scrolling straight up, 3.37 is the overall brand. And so from a positive standpoint, this user could tell themselves, okay, we are outperforming as far as the Google star rating compared to our overall brand. Scrolling down, this is the Facebook job applications section. This will show you the total number of applicants based on the date range above. So this would be all the number of applicants that have been acquired using the Facebook platform to run job postings. And so in this example, we have 7,324 people have applied to jobs for all the locations within this particular brand. You can compare these exact same stats to your organization, again, sorted by the fields up above, whether they're individual stores, groups of stores, or your whole company, where you have 1,329. Scrolling down, we have job applicants from Facebook and some additional stats here that show applicant waiting, hired, not hired, review, interview scheduled, and then average reply time to a applicant that has come through. And all this is related to the inbox feature when somebody gives you an application on Facebook, where they are in that process. And then we have, again, this is the total brand, and then this is just your organization or how you have it sorted up above in those fields, all the exact information from a comparison standpoint. If you have any questions about the brand dashboard analytics, you can always reach out to our help center by clicking here and open up a ticket. One of our Linkasoarus support team members will be with you shortly. And as always, link and soar with us.